If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference. Become a moment maker and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count. If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference. Become a moment maker and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count.
That
Nice.
that flyover was for our Air Force guest.
Yes, it was. Aim
Oh,
high, baby. Aim
yeah.
high.
Well, welcome back to another episode of TSP. We have been away for a couple of weeks.
Why? Why have we been away, Fleek?
I was thrown a curveball and I had to have a little surgery. Cancer got me, so I'm fighting back.
And he beat it. He fucking beat it.
I'm on the right track. You know, I can't really say yes here or there, but I definitely on the right track. My surgeon thinks we're in a good position. And the cancer, I had tumors.
Tumors.
It's a big word.
Yes, it is. Yeah, on my prostate, and when they took it out,
Oh, God.
the tumors were contained not only on the prostate but internal. So my surgeon / urologist says we're in an excellent position. I still will have to be monitored for the rest of my life. They don't go in my butthole. They went. I'm like,
They didn't milk your prostate, Fleek?
oh, they took it out.
Ooh, God.
If you want, I can send it to you.
I would love to see those pictures, man. I really would. Seriously, I would.
But it's been a rough couple of weeks. Tomorrow will mark 2 weeks since my surgery. Every day I get a little bit stronger. You know, last week I tried to do a podcast, one of my other podcasts, and I was gray, and it didn't go very well. But
What, the nosebleed? You were...
so I have 3 podcasts now. This one, the Hopecast, and
Oh, yeah.
Nosebleeds. I've not done the Nosebleeds yet either. That one's on hold. But we're ramping back up. And this podcast spawned Minutes Wisely, which is a nonprofit where we send veterans and first responders and Gold Star family members to awesome events. And 2025, to be honest with you, was going to be my breakout year for the nonprofit. I had a lot of momentum going. But back in December, when the doctor told me that I had cancer, I put a pause on everything. I haven't even been meeting with the board or anything, so I had to put a halt to everything. So it kind of ruined my fundraising. I had to cancel a couple fundraising events, and so I feel like you miss 3 or 4 months of fundraising, man. It really puts you back like a year or two. I feel it's been rough, but I'm gonna ramp back up here. I'm out of work for the month of May, so I'm not going to do anything with the podcast either the month of May or the nonprofit the month of May. My number one goal is to get healthy. I have if I can't take care of myself, I can't take care of anybody else, right? So
Exactly.
my number one goal is to get healthy, and then I'll be back out there saving veterans' lives.
Well,
So,
dude, we have
we'll be back.
we have like 5 podcasts to do. Like after Jeff, we've got so you better be ready for those, man.
I kept bumping them, man. So plus, I think we got a couple more that because the one guy we were supposed to do a night or two ago, I don't think he rescheduled the Navy SEAL.
No, he hasn't yet. I did tell him to do that.
Yes.
What's his name? Tommy Richardson or something like that. I think he was SEAL Team 4. He's I don't know. But we do have more Ton Tavern people that are going to be signing up because, and I guess that rolls into my stuff. But Fleek, hey, listen, I'm really like me and my family. We're really happy that you're with it, and you've beat cancer, and you said fuck you to cancer. I lost a lot of my friends to cancer, and cancer sucks. And that's why I get my colonoscopy. I've got one coming up in 2 years. I've had 3 already because I'm high risk. So if you are high risk of anything, definitely go get checked out.
And make sure you're getting your PSA numbers checked from your doctor too. That's a big one.
So, without further ado, I have a couple announcements. I had to write them down real quick. June 1st to 7th, Nashville, Tennessee, Marine Week. Every swinging dick and other should come to Marine Week in Nashville. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I'm going to be in uniform the first 6 days. We have a table with the United States Marine Corps Reserve Association. Come down and see me. June 7th and 8th, the Great Tennessee Air Show in Smyrna, Tennessee. We will be selling ice cream and water and watching the Blue Angels. Percentage of that goes to Ton Tavern. And on the line of Ton Tavern, they are shooting out this new thing for anyone Freemason, Sailor, Marine, St. Andrews Society, whatever. The 1775 Club. It's $17.75 for the first 3 months. You get a T-shirt, you get coins, you get this, you get swag. It's awesome. I've already seen my name. I signed up for it, even though I'm a plank owner, and it's gonna be awesome. This new Ton Club. If you want to know anything about it, just let me know. I've got all the paraphernalia for it on my phone, and I'll send it to you. And June 28th to July 1st, Minutes Wisely is sending 2 lucky veterans, Jake Neesmith and Eric Gam, both whom I went to boot camp with. We are going diving in Panama City. It's going to be Discover Scuba, paid for by Minutes Wisely, basically by me. And then Fleek's going to reimburse me, hopefully. And they are staying at the Blue Green Bayside Resort and Spa, of which I'm a timeshare owner, and that is my timeshare. So they get to be there for free. And then we go get to dive for 4 days. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to take lots of pictures. And we're going to hype up Minutes Wisely. And we're going to We're going to try and get more dives, more outings. Like, I don't know, Fleek can do the Fleek. I don't know if this is okay with you. You can do the sports thing because of the nosebleed. I'm like an outdoorsy guy, like fishing, canoeing, kayaking, diving. I mean, I don't mind doing that. I love it. I lost 81 pounds just by being outside. So I would love to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Wow, that was easy.
well I was going to set up a deep sea fishing
Yeah. No,
venture,
let's
but
combine our efforts on that. Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
I put that one on hold for until now. Now I have to push it off to fall. But
Yeah.
all that, yeah, we're gonna do all kinds of cool ass stuff.
That sounds and we're working on the RV. Mm-hmm.
Yep, gonna start on that here pretty soon. Our goal is to get an RV that we can haul people around in.
And one last
That's
thing
cool.
before we get to Jeff, because I'm really excited about Jeff and his story, because he's Air Force. My father-in-law, 38 years Air Force. My wife, Civil Air Patrol for 2 months. And then, no. I want to shout out to Boston Skelly Company. I am wearing the Grateful Dead today. As you can see,
Boston Scully, call us.
yeah. Give us a call. We will be your advertising for Fleek. How many countries are we in now? 50, right? 50 countries?
I think I'll have to take a look. It's been a couple of weeks. I haven't looked in a while, but I think we.
Jeff, dude, 50
That's
countries, 662 cities
Yeah,
worldwide.
I think we even went up in the cities too. So we.
And the number one or number two? Number one, right? Is Germany still?
Number two, like obviously number one country is United States, but out of all the others, Germany is not far behind.
Wunderbar. Fantastisch.
Germany likes us. I don't know.
Very
Germany
awesome.
likes us.
But,
So,
hey, before we get started, the Marine Corps Week in Nashville,
yes,
what were the dates of those? June
June 1st to the 7th.
All right, Nashville. If you have cats, make sure you don't have your cats outside during that week. There's going to be a bunch of pregnant cats running around.
Hey, listen, we stay away from cats, man. It's goats. We like goats and horses.
All right.
Protect
Hey,
your wildlife.
if there are any Doc Corman in the Tennessee area, please get your ass to Nashville June 1st to 7th. We are going to need a lot of silver bullets.
Yeah.
Right here. I need one.
Nobody wants a silver bullet. Except
Nobody wants a silver. I wonder if they call that the silver bullet in the Air Force. That's a good question. I'm going to have to ask Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, welcome to the show. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, sure. Guys, thanks for having me. Appreciate getting to sit here and chat with you and listen to all the great things that you guys are doing. I think this is incredible, and congratulations on being in so many countries and having such a great audience. I mean, there's nothing better than spreading the message of doing great things for veterans, right?
That's true.
yes, sir.
So, yeah, like you said, my name's Jeff Clark. I was in the Air Force. I did 12 years before I was medically retired. My MOS, or we call it an AFSC, was medical logistics, so I'm a 4A1, and I did basically medical supply, same thing that the Army does. We're actually such a close-knit career field between the two of us that when we joined and did the medical education and training campus down in San Antonio, the fields kind of merged where Army and Air Force were working together in different medical facilities. So I have 12 years, but roughly 7 of that was joint with the Army. So I have a lot of time spent with the Army, working with them in hospitals and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. The Air Force was great to me, but they broke my shoulder and they broke my back.
Damn.
From loading cargo and supporting the wars. That 12 years into it, I couldn't do it anymore. I physically couldn't run without just doubling over in pain and having to take several days off, and it just caught up to me, and it medically retired me. So I did 12 years. I was an instructor. Like I said, worked with the Army for quite a bit of time. I did some pretty cool stuff. But then when I retired, I went back and I became a civilian. and that's where I was an operations officer. I was a search and recovery officer, mortuary officer, and then I was at headquarters Space Force when it stood up,
Whoa.
and it became Space Operations Command. So I was at Peterson there in Colorado when the Space Force really kind of took off as a civilian. That was cool seeing a branch of service stand up from the ground floor.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Damn.
Have you ever been in the top secret mountain?
No, but I had a badge for access to it, but I never had a need to go there. So it was like, yeah, they were like, hey, you have access, but like you have to have a need to go there. You can't just roll up to the gate and be like, hey, I got a badge, let me in, I'm gonna hang out. Like, nah, it didn't work like that. But I had access.
Dude, so you had TSC, like the full, like the top?
No, I just had access to the facility, so I had
Okay.
the badge that got me in the door.
Jesus.
Now, what they would trust me with after that, I don't know. Probably not a whole lot. But yeah, I had that. I had the badge that got me in the door.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Now, Jeff, where are you from?
I'm from Oklahoma, so I was born and raised here. I lived here for 21 years, and then I joined the Air Force. Moved to Texas, moved to Kansas, moved to Colorado, and then I got a chance to move back and have my kids around here, around their grandparents, and I jumped on that job as soon as it was out there. And we've kind of been here ever since, except for my stint in Colorado as a civilian at Space Command, and then we came back. And now my wife's got a dermatology practice, and we just bought a farm and all this fun stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking
Nice.
about.
Yeah.
What kind of farm?
Well, I guess it's maybe not really a farm. It's kind of a little 5-acre farm. It's got a barn and some stuff on it and a pond, but it's not huge. But it's
More
better
than me. More than
better
what
than
I
nothing,
got
right?
in my little slice of heaven.
Is your wife a doctor?
She's a physician assistant.
Nice. PA.
Yeah. So in Oklahoma, they can practice pretty much on their own. Not completely, but
Yeah.
she's got her own clinic and a doc checks in on her from time to time, but she's a physician on her own 99.9% of the time.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any cool boot camp stories or stories that are cleared to tell us? Because you Air Force guys, you guys have like cool, very top secret cool stories.
Was your boot camp as hard as Andrew's?
Probably not. I was in the older Air Force where,
For cell phones?
yeah, before cell phones and all the privileges and stuff that they have now, where
What years did you go in?
I came in 2005.
Oh shit. Okay.
So we were still, that was before Air Force reformed basic military training and changed a lot of things and added weeks and added curriculum. Like, they were still waking us up. They were still cussing at us. We didn't have our cell phones. We got 2 phone calls in 6 weeks. Like, it was different than it is today. Today they got camelbacks and they have phone privileges and they have their cell phone half the time. Like, my son graduated about 3 years ago, and he's a special operations avionics technician on helicopters. And he was just telling me the difference between, telling me what his experience was compared to mine, because he knew what mine was like. And I was like, it didn't feel like you were really that far away. Like,
Right, exactly.
he had it pretty easy. It was nothing compared to what I went through.
Unless I did something good, like win initial drill or something. I couldn't get a phone call. I didn't even call my parents until 2 days before I graduated. That was like after like 12 weeks of hell. Jesus.
Wow. We had that one mandatory phone call.
Yeah. You get the one when you get on the, exactly.
Right there, 45 seconds. You read it off of the note card, and they're standing over there, breathing over your neck. You're just scared to death, so you just read it right off of there and hang up the phone.
I'll show my age real quick. Even if I could use a cell phone in boot camp, cell phones weren't a thing.
They didn't exist. They had the big one in the 80s. They had the big
You have
one.
to hold it like this with the antenna that's
It
2
was like-
feet in the air.
Also, like $2,000 a month.
Right? Yeah.
I do have to point something out because I graduated boot camp in 2004, which means this is the first episode where
You're-
I am not the youngest person that we are talking to.
Nice.
BOOT, right there.
This is the first time he can call somebody a boot. This is
Oh,
great.
dude, seriously, dude, your buddy Tony Ortiz, yeah, after our little field trip to Norfolk, oh, he was all about calling me boot. Oof. Sorry. That was a really good weekend. Tony is he's doing really well, and he says hi, Fleek. Sorry, Jeff. Sorry about that.
No, it's good. I think one of the best things about the veteran community is that we can banter like this.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's not personal. We just joke around.
We joke around.
Yeah,
But if
we
a
enjoy it.
civilian says anything to you, Jeff, or to
Mhm.
you, Fleek,
Yeah.
I'll fucking kill him.
Right, yeah, this is fighting words.
Yeah,
Very-
so-
Very rare that we have three different branches on one episode. Also, it's usually
that is. I mean, Marine, Navy, Air Force.
yeah.
Man,
I know a lot of Navy guys. I've met a lot in the last few years.
Jeff, did you have to deal with a lot of JTAC and what are those other guys? JTAC and CCT, the combat controllers, JTAC, PJs, all that kind of stuff. Did you have to deal with any of those?
A few times, but it was more on the support side. Like they needed certain supplies and equipment for a deployment.
Uh-huh.
Especially when I was with the Army, we worked a lot with Army. I think it's
Green
U.S.
Berets.
Army, Northcom, and Southcom.
Okay, yeah.
I worked a lot with them, providing support for missions that they were going on. So every now and then, I dealt with one of them. I think I dealt with more of the some of the equivalent on the Army side, not as much on the Air Force side.
Okay.
Because again, I was at Fort Sam Houston
Yeah,
down in
of
San
course.
Antonio, so we were working for the Army.
Wow.
Yeah. But-
How many different boot camps are there for Air Force?
Well, there's just one. There's just one down in San Antonio.
San Antonio.
That's
Yep.
it?
That's it.
Really?
Just one.
Huh.
They do it all down there.
Hey, did you go during the summertime?
I did.
It was hot as balls, wasn't it?
Oh, black flag every day.
You guys do that too?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
And depending upon who the instructor was for today was depending upon what color that flag actually was. So, yeah, it might have been black flag legally, but in their opinion, it was still red flag or whatever. And we
Now,
still
when
we
you
still
had a
worked
black
out.
flag, did you guys have to PT inside? Or get
So
hazed? Sorry, back in those days, it wasn't PT. It was just straight up hazing. And then
Yeah.
Fleek, I don't even know. He probably just got murdered in '85. I can't even fathom what your boot camp was like, Fleek.
I mean, it's funny because my grandfather used to laugh at me like, you get it so easy. And now I laugh at the new recruits. It's like, God damn, man, I wish I had it as easy as you guys.
Yeah.
Every generation, it just keeps getting weaker and weaker, man. It's nuts.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
there's
had
one
the
guy. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
we had the overhangs.
Oh, yeah.
That had drill pads underneath them. So, you were in the shade, but you were still out in the heat. So if it was black flag, they just move us under that in the shade and say, okay, we're still going to work out. Let's drop down and do 100 flutter kicks.
Oof.
I mean, they didn't let up on us until, God, that was that 5th week after the field training week. And then you return back from field training and you basically completed all the requirements for basic training except for your classroom tests. And then they treat you a little bit differently. Like, okay, you've earned our respect to a certain degree. And they ease up just a tad. And I say that,
Yeah.
very loosely. But
That's the same thing with Marines. They by week 11, they're talking to you like a normal person, sort of.
yeah,
You still have to obviously have respect, but they aren't screaming, they aren't yelling. That was the first month. That was hell on earth.
Yeah, well, the Marines they're a different sort, man. They have 12 weeks. The Air Force had 6, the Navy and Army,
9.
we had 8.
Don't you guys have 9 or 8 or something like that?
I did 9 only because the first week I was waiting for the rest of the group to show up. So
To pick up.
yeah. So, but technically it was 8 weeks. So
Damn.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
long time.
Jeff, what do you get into nowadays? Like, what are you doing?
So I still work for their local Air Force base. I'm the manpower chief, so my job is to I analyze data and help them find the appropriate amount of people that they need in each unit to do the job. And we're a flying training base, so our job is just to train pilots. So that's what I do during the day, and then outside of work, I've wrote a book. I wrote a leadership book, and I'm writing some fiction books right now. So that's really kind of what consumes my time, is just sitting behind the keyboard quite a bit.
heck yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Where do you get your motivation for stuff like that?
I think, well, as a kid, I was a very creative person. I liked to draw. My parents didn't have a ton of money, so I had to entertain myself with the few amount of toys that I had. So I relied heavily on my imagination. And then when I joined the military, you get ingrained to be a certain mold of a person, So some of those, I don't say this negatively, but some of those former characteristics of you kind of take a back seat. And then you're told where to go, when to do it, everybody's marching to the beat of the same drum. And then when I retired and I realized I didn't have any hobbies, I was used to studying military books or going to school to get my degree to, please the military. And I didn't have time for other than family. So that's when I kind of got back into reading. And then that kind of turned into I really missed reading and getting back into Tom Clancy and Michael Crichton and some of those books. So
Nice.
I just told myself, well, what would it take to write one myself? So I really focused on leadership first because I was the Air Force's top civilian supervisor in 2019. And I felt like, wow, that's such a huge award. And there were so many people who worked for me who helped me get that award that I really need to speak out more about leadership. So I wrote the leadership book. I got it published, and then I said I'm going to turn my attention to fiction, and I really turned towards fiction to be creative, but also to occupy my time. And I met a lot of veterans who were struggling with PTSD and struggling with anxiety, and then I realized I had some post-service anxiety kind of problems that were tied to, being a different person, and not wearing camouflage anymore, and all those things that we sometimes don't talk about as service members. And I realized for myself, I wasn't doing anything for myself. And just like we said earlier,
Yeah.
we got to take care of ourselves before we take care of other people. And I realized quickly that I was not doing that. So I started focusing on myself more and my mental health and being in the moment and writing. And that's writing and archery. Those are the two things that kind of saved my life.
What
Writing
kind of
and
bow do you
archery.
got?
Right down over here, I got a Elite Carbon Era, and
Nice.
I just bought a Hoyt Alpha X.
That's what I got in the garage. I got a Hoyt. I love
you really?
the Hoyt.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
It's. I'm glad you like archery because
I do.
have you ever read Zen and the Art of Archery?
No.
Check it out, man. I read it in high school, but still the Zen stuff and archery and those guys, man, they created how to properly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Archery
that's
was
awesome.
huge. It
Yeah.
going to Total Archery Challenge, being around a bunch of other veterans, out there just losing arrows and having fun. Total game changer.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then a friend of mine runs he's doing a new kind of archery challenge up in Colorado called Valor Archery Challenge that I'm going to check out later this year. And there's a couple other events that I really, really want to go to and just go out there and sling some arrows with some fellow veterans and just do like what we're doing right here, just talking and chatting,
Yeah.
shooting the shit and just just being together, because it's those moments like that you just kind of look back on and go, man, I should do this more, because you're not alone.
Did you ever do it competitively?
No, I'm not that good. I can't take it that seriously.
Do you have a sight on your Hoyt?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Yep.
With the 3 little colors, the green, the yellow, and the red.
No, I just do a single pin. I
You
found
just do
that
single. Okay.
just the single pin helps me focus a lot better. I shoot better with it like that.
Fleek, we might have to incorporate archery into our healing, and maybe Jeff can help us out with that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I used to be into archery. I used to bow hunt when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
Up in the Uper, up in
In the UP, yes.
Yeah. I love archery. I got back into it after my shoulder surgery. I had the VA fixed my shoulder, and I went into rehab, and I finally got my left shoulder back to where I could just do push-ups again. Just a handful of push-ups, and I worked my way up to doing 100 a day. And then that's when I was like, okay, I ditched the crossbow, and I started picking up a bow again and trying to draw it back. And it was.
I have to ask, I've fired both myself, and I don't like the crossbow very much. I really don't. What are your thoughts on that?
I liked it when I couldn't hold a bow back with my shoulder. The crossbow was great to still allow me to go out and hunt.
Yeah.
Especially here in Oklahoma, we have a very large archery season. So if you don't have some kind of archery equipment, you're kind of waiting around for rifle season, which is only like 2 weeks in November. So
that's it.
Yeah, it's not very long. It's really
terrible.
Short. Yeah. So
also,
yeah, you got to jump on the archery chain. So having a crossbow, plus I took my kids and my wife out with the crossbow, and it was something that they could easily shoot. So they harvested more deer than I have, just because I've taken them out with the crossbow and let them have at it. So I love the challenge of shooting with a regular bow as opposed to a crossbow, but a crossbow is convenient for just being able to get out there and partake.
That's cool.
What type of deer do you have in Oklahoma?
Mainly whitetails, but if you go off to the panhandle where you get closer to Colorado, there's mule deer and antelope. And we got some elk here. We got a big building elk herd here.
Oh my!
Yeah,
those
they're hard to get a tag to go hunt those here in Oklahoma. But if you're lucky enough to get one, or if you know a private landowner,
why is it so hard to get an elk tag?
That's how they manage the herd. That's how they've kind of built up the herd, is by not allowing a lot of hunting. So then the herd grows, and then they kind of are a little more selective. But now we have, out east, closer to Arkansas, we have massive herds, thousands and thousands of elk. And then they're starting to grow even bigger over towards the west by the Texas panhandle, and they're kind of that huge herd flowing in and out of Texas. So we even have bear hunting here. Oklahoma is very, it's flat in some parts, and we got some deep terrain down in the south that is elk and bear country. So Oklahoma's it's a beautiful state. It's a great place to hunt. I encourage people to come here because we don't got just big deer. We got a lot of other animals you can partake in.
I did go to Oklahoma once for some kind of convention. It was a casino by a lake. What's the capital of Oklahoma? Oklahoma City, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was there. It was
Dallas.
Huh?
Just north of Dallas. I mean, Dallas, Texas is not that far from Oklahoma.
Yeah, from the border, it's probably 2 hours. From Oklahoma City, it's closer to.
They used to drive. I used to have an office in Dallas, and my friends used to drive to somewhere in Oklahoma to go to the casino because there's no casinos in Texas.
It was beautiful. I mean, Oklahoma is a very beautiful country.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a big casino right over the border. I think it's called the WinStar or something like that.
That's
one of the biggest
that's
casinos
exactly
in the States.
where I was with
it's huge.
An organization that we talked about earlier today.
Yeah.
I was there, and Oklahoma, I just had never been to Oklahoma, and I was kind of amazed. It was beautiful land. You're lucky to be there, man.
I know. I love it.
Do you know Blake Shelton?
I don't know him, but I've met him.
Garth Brooks?
I haven't met Garth Brooks, but I've seen him in concert a couple times.
I met him.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah, I did. But he's an Oklahoma boy too, right?
He
Yep.
is? I don't
Yep.
know.
Yep, Garth's from Oklahoma. Reba McEntire.
Reba, I haven't met her yet.
Yeah,
don't
there's a
think I
bunch of
will.
people. Did you know Brad Pitt's from Oklahoma?
I heard, yes, I heard a rumor that he was. I
He
just
is.
watched Ocean's 13. That's funny that you just mentioned Brad
Yeah,
Pitt,
yeah.
because I just watched that yesterday.
Yep, he's from Oklahoma. Yeah, a lot of people are that you wouldn't guess.
Well, Jeff, if you ever make it to Tennessee, man, we got this culling season up in the mountain in Sewanee, and we get the good to go to shoot as many deer as we possibly can.
Yeah, nice.
And so it's like an hour like south of me and Fleek. Fleek lives like 11 miles from me. So like you go 62 miles south, boom. The culling in November, it's on, man, if you want to come.
Okay, I might take you up on that.
You better, because Fleek and I will take you out. We'll take you out to dinner. We'll show you a good time.
Hey.
We might even take you to Nashville if Fleek will go down there.
Too many people.
It is. It's getting a little crazy.
Yeah. I was in Nashville last year for
You didn't
For
call
what?
a writers conference called BoucherCon.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
You were here for that?
I was there for that. Yep.
Was that at the big convention center on Demumbrian or Korean veterans? It was a big hotel, right?
Yeah, it was at the Opryland resort, big resort.
Yes. Oh, it's on off of 40. Okay, that's
Yeah.
where it was. Okay.
Yeah.
that.
I didn't even
Mission-
leave for 4 days. Like they have everything in there, like
Yeah.
restaurants,
Yes.
everything. You
They
didn't
got
have
a
to leave.
Chuy's, they got a Bass Pro Shop, they got a Mission Barbecue right down the road.
Yeah. We didn't have to leave at all.
It's pretty nice in there, but it's very expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't cheap by any means.
Did you get in the water and go in the river?
Water.
No, but I definitely, fed some of my rider friends some additional drinks and egged them on to do some wild stuff. I wasn't successful, but I got pretty close.
Nice. This Oklahoma, man, does it get hot as balls there too, like it does here?
Yeah, yeah, we'll break over 100 degrees in the summer, and then
Ugh.
depending on the winter,
I hate
we had a really cold winter this winter. I mean, we were in single digits for weeks on end, and it got
See, I like
got
that.
cold.
I like that. I don't like the hot. I like the cold.
yeah, me
Damn,
too.
like-
I'd much rather be cold than hot. That's why I loved Colorado, but I couldn't afford to live there anymore.
And you got a good beard going on, man.
Thank you. It's so nice to not have to shave anymore. I say that, and it's been 8 years since I retired, but it's so nice to.
Do you miss it? Do you miss the day to day?
I do, especially being around the military now, as a civilian, and getting to see them day in and day out, and see how things have changed, but also see the camaraderie that they have.
Yeah.
And to see them go through some things together, especially in those sucky times where they have to band together. And as a civilian, you're like, well, it's 4:30, it's time for me to go home, and they're not paying me overtime, so I'm leaving. And those guys are behind, and seeing that still it gets to me every now and then. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I really wish it wasn't over. But when I think about it, it's 2025. I came in 2005. I'd be hitting my 20-year. Well, I'd be at my 20-year mark already, and I'd
Yep.
probably be punching out if I hadn't made rank or anything by then. So,
You'd be a command master sergeant.
yeah, I might be calling it quits, now anyway. But yeah, I do. I miss it. That's why I try to hang around other veterans as much as possible, just because, those are my people.
And that's the same answer that Fleek gave us. He loved his time in the Navy, and he talks about his amazing Carl Vinson ship all the time, and so do his friends that he pawns off on me.
So, I I love the Navy, man, but I don't know. I can't say it's harder than the other branches because the Marines are out there kicking doors in and getting shot at. But in peacetime, like even during peacetime, man, like we're still getting deployed 7 months out in the middle of the ocean for
Yep.
7 months straight. It's hard on a person,
Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine being on a boat,
Yeah.
for that long.
7 months at a time.
Yeah.
And Fleek here, how long were you? What was your longest stint on a boat?
Without seeing a tree was 107 days,
Jesus. Oh, God, that's a lot.
3.5 months.
That's a lot.
Wow. Yeah.
Jeff,
Yeah,
did
Especially
you?
the confines, the close confines.
Yeah.
Like I've never been on one. No, not an active one, but I've been on an old one. I've been on the Lexington before down in South Texas, but
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine living there in the small and I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", 240 pounds.
Oh, he would not fit in a coffin rack. Your feet
Yeah.
would be definitely hanging over, sir, just like
Yeah.
mine.
So I can't imagine.
Yeah, my feet always hung out the end, so you'd be way out there.
Yeah. I'd hate it just because of that.
Jeff, did you? Besides Kansas and Colorado, and where else did you go?
Texas.
And Texas. That was it. You didn't go overseas or anything.
No, I was trying to go overseas, and I didn't know the way the assignment cycle worked in the Air Force, or else I would have maybe chosen something different. But I eventually accepted a special duty and went and taught at the tech school at the schoolhouse. And I did that for a handful of years. And then when I was with the Army, I was tasked at Iraq and Afghanistan. And it just seemed like every time I ramped up and I was ready to go, because of OPSEC, they were killing orders and kind of keeping everybody guessing on who was actually going to leave. So the closest I ever got to going somewhere was I was on a special medical team that deployed within 72 hours. And do you remember the Ebola scare down in Dallas years back?
Yeah.
That my team was the team that was going to go there and deploy to Dallas and set up a mobile hospital wearing the white suits just like you see in a movie and everything. We were on the plane, on the tarmac, taxiing with all the gear ready to go when FEMA and the president called it off.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
usually you have to go to like Europe or something for a year. You didn't have to do none of that.
I was supposed to, coming off of my special duty as an instructor, I was hot for Korea, and I was literally saying, I'll go, tell me when. And it was like the machine of my career field just was not hearing me out. And I was talking to my boss, I was talking to my commander, and I was like, I'm not trying to dodge anything. I want to go. Tell me when and where, and it's a done deal. And it was like they were just kind of kicking the can down the road, and it was like, well, I'm waiting. I'm not going to wait for too long for an assignment before I'm going to pull the trigger on something if it comes across my plate. And that's when I had the chance to move back here to Oklahoma, and I jumped on it because I was like, well, I mean, worst case, I go to Oklahoma, my wife and kids are around family, and they tasked me to go anyway, and then they're back home. So that's what I did. I just pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah. I know a lot of Air Force people go to Alaska too, and I think that'd be cool for a minute, but I wouldn't want to spend a year in Alaska.
Well, and you want to go to Elmendorf. You don't want to go to Eielson. Eielson's further north in the
That's way
middle
up
of
there,
Alaska. Yeah, like, and it's not a big base. It's not very big at all. Elmendorf at least is a joint base. It's got Army stuff on it. It's got Air Force stuff on it. It's by the coast. It's not nearly as bad as Eielson is. Eielson's tough. I knew a guy that was stationed up there, and he was like, you got to have a snowplow to get in and out of your driveway. You got to buy oil to burn in the middle of winter just in case the power goes out. Like he was telling me, you got to survive up there.
Yeah. That ain't for me, man.
Right? Yeah, I'd go do it for a little while, but not in a long time.
I mean, I would love to go salmon fishing, have salmon
man,
back door and stuff.
Dude, the king salmon, man, that tastes good.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine freaking ripping lips up there, man. That'd be freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. This has been very interesting, man. You've had a very good career. Did the VA, when you retired, You medically retired, correct?
Yeah, right.
Did they take good care of you?
Yeah, so I had to go to all my VA stuff before I even got out. So I had my rating, I had my list of, disabilities and all that before I even walked out the door. So all I had to do was fight for those things that they gave you a 0% for. So I walked out the door at 60%. So I just had to fight for that other 40 and getting some of those other things done. And it actually, and I'll say this so that other people hear it, I got to 100% and I got other things that I needed to get on my record because I talked to other veterans and I asked them for help. And they reached out to me and said, here's how you get certain things documented. And here's the paperwork that you need to do. And here's some of kind of the tips and the tricks to get those ratings that you're owed. Because I had things on my record that I got 0% for. And then I had things that weren't on my record at all that should have been. So I didn't have any problems with the VA, but again, I leaned on a lot of other veterans to help me out to get me there. And that's something I've always tried to kind of pay forward when people come across me and say, yeah, I'm struggling with this and that. It's like, okay, let me bend your ear for a minute and see what's going on. Because I didn't have a ton of problems. I still don't to this day. I'm very, very fortunate. We have a great clinic here in town. They just rebuilt it and completely renovated it and expanded it, and it hasn't been touched by any of the VA cuts, and there's some good quality docs there who actually give a shit, some nurses who really care. It helps that they're also in the same building as my wife, so they've kind of gotten to know my wife's office, so they know me through her. But yeah, I've been very fortunate. I haven't had problems with the VA.
Are you 100% TNP? If you don't mind me.
Yep.
So you're done. Like
Done.
you get a like me. You get a set rate. That's it. You're not getting any more. You're not getting any less.
Right. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Yep.
Fleek is he's on the move for that one.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I just had a CMP exam yesterday.
You did?
Yes.
Good for you, man. You didn't tell me that.
I haven't seen you till just now.
You talked to me today.
I know.
You called me an hour ago. You're like, hey, we got a podcast. I'm like, it wasn't at 5 o'clock. I was waiting for an email. I thought our podcast was at 5. I didn't look at my calendar closely. Sorry.
I was actually going to call you yesterday morning and get some pointers from you, but then, life happens.
Well, for anybody out there, if you're having trouble with your VA rating, you need to talk to Barry Law in Nebraska. Richard Fleek down there, he called them up, and they got a lot of really, really good veteran advocates, lawyers that are accredited. Because as soon as I mentioned that, like 5 months ago,
They're all veterans.
they were all over me about, well, are they accredited? I'm like, yeah, they're accredited. We had the president on the damn show. I mean, John Barry is a great guy, and all of them are great, and they're taking care of Fleek. And anyone who's got problems needs to call Barry Law out of Nebraska.
John Barry's father's when it started the practice, and he was a veteran. John Barry's a veteran. They're all veterans in there. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a good group.
Yeah, you almost need somebody in your corner to kind of get some of that stuff.
You need a support system. You do.
Yeah.
I didn't have one when I got out. I had to do all this shit on my own. I was stubborn as hell, and now I'm not. Now if I need help, I'll call Fleek up, or I'll call any of my guys and be like, hey, I need help. And I don't know. What you said, you definitely need to lean on your fellow veterans and your friends, your comrades, and ask them, hey, have you been through this? And if you have, can you help me go through it?
Yeah. Nobody knows the transition better than people who have already done it before you. So don't be shy about asking questions, reaching out. That's something I found out during COVID was like people on LinkedIn. I would hit up people on LinkedIn and they would just be so open about information. Like, what do you need? Like, what are you having problems with? And like, let's do a Zoom call real quick and let's chat. And I could just ask them questions, and I gained that knowledge. I helped myself, and then I paid it forward. And it was like, that's the biggest piece of advice I think I've given to every veteran I've ran across, or people that are getting ready to leave the service, was like, take my phone number, find people on LinkedIn, find people on social media that are veterans, and don't be afraid to send them a message, because nobody knows the transition better than people that have already done it.
Are you on LinkedIn, Jeff?
Yeah. Yep, I am.
Good. I will look you up right now.
Yeah, do it.
Jeff?
Hey Jeff, before we part ways here, do you have a website or anything that you want to talk about your books and stuff?
Yeah, you can go to jeffclarkofficial.com and you can see the blog. You can see I got podcast episodes on there. I do a live stream every that me?
That's Jeff Clark, best-selling author and average bow hunter. I like
Average.
that.
Yeah, average. Yeah, you can go to the website, jeffclarkofficial.com. I got a blog. I got some podcast stuff on there. I do a live stream every Monday night, almost every Monday night.
Oh, dude, it's tight, man.
Yeah.
Live stream about.
I have authors, other veterans on, and I give them, an hour or so of time to just, let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. Let's talk about your product, and let's make it all about you. And I just kind of give them my platform to do their thing and chat with me, and we solve problems. We just have fun and build bullshit, or we talk about their product and try to help them grow. So, having a lot of fun with that. I started doing a live stream this year just so I didn't have to edit podcast episodes anymore.
Yeah, I love that. I love shows.
Yeah, just go live. We talk for an hour, and then it's saved to YouTube and Twitch, and I can download the file and use it, upload it to Spotify or whatever, but I don't make it that big of a priority anymore.
And you're friends with Travis Johnson. Parade Deck. I know that guy. And Andrew Appleton, too.
Mm-hmm.
Another Parade Deck guy.
Yep.
So have you met Rico yet?
No, I don't think so.
RICCOH. He's the head of that Parade Deck.
I think he left.
Did he leave?
Yeah.
He did? Oh, man.
Yeah, I got on there. I think when they started it up, I met Andrew.
Andrew. Yeah, he's a Marine.
Yeah, I met Andrew, and he got me on the Parade Deck when they first kind of started it up, and we're trying to grow it. And I was like, sure, dude. Whatever I can do to help.
Hey,
if you want to use the content, go right ahead.
Hey, we're on Parade Deck. I mean, if you go in there and search, we're on there. We're in there.
Really?
Yeah,
we are.
I stopped posting there because it was too convoluted.
But if you go in there, I looked it up. I mean, I did see our podcast.
And we're in there, but it's not as easy as like posting to like Facebook or LinkedIn
or Instagram or something. Yeah.
Yeah. They need to.
We might get a phone call about that though.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to get back into it, but I need I got way too much stuff on my plate. Shit.
You have 3 podcasts and you're beating cancer. You need to just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeff, we're at the moment where I ask you pick a number 1 through 10, not 7. So any of those numbers except for 7. Sorry. The reason why 7 is because everybody and their mother has picked 7, like 7 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
The interviewee picked 7. We're like, okay, can we get another question, please? Seriously.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's go with 4.
Ooh, we haven't heard 4 in a while. All right, here it is, number 4. Can you tell us about a time when you witnessed extraordinary courage or camaraderie among your comrades?
Yeah, I think it was probably when I was joint with the Army, and we had an Army staff sergeant, E6, and he was just one of those kind of toxic guys. He was a toxic leader, had an ego about himself, and I saw a young private stand up to him one day, respectfully, but stood up to him one day, and it really, I gained a lot of respect for that private, because in his eyes, he was still a man. He was still a human being. You still have to talk to people with a certain level of respect, even if you're much higher ranking than them, because people are still people, right?
Yeah.
So I saw him stand up to the staff sergeant one day, and he basically just said, I understand you. I respect your rank, but I'm still a human being, and you're not going to talk to me, and you're not going to talk to any of these other people like that. And that was just kind of the bottom line. Now, he got ripped to pieces for doing it. But, you know, he stood up for what he felt like he was worth. And he was an excellent troop. I mean, excellent troop. And I just thought that was really brave and bold, because sometimes I think in the military you get told to shut up and color, and you forget who you are, and you forget that you are a human being, and that could go toxically to your head and be really, really bad. And that's why we have suicide problems and things like that, because we can be the military, but there's got to be a point in time where we stop and remember that we're all human beings. And we have to take care of each other in order to perform at the highest of levels and be the biggest and best fighting force on the planet. So I thought that was something that I thought was really, really bold and brave of him to do.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I tried that once with a gunny, and I got my ass kicked.
Yeah. Well, I've never done it before.
Oh, gunny scroggers did not like me standing up for myself. Oof. I was in the sand pit for like 3 hours.
Yeah, you earned it.
Oh, I made myself a sugar cookie. It was awesome.
Hey, Andrew, I looked up the stats, by the way.
Yeah.
We bumped up. We are in 53 countries now.
Wow.
675 cities.
Wow. Congrats, gentlemen. That's awesome.
Frankfurt, Germany is still number 2 city, and Germany is the number 2 country. So
What about Israel? Are they all? Israel's all the way down there at the bottom, right?
yeah, I haven't heard from our friend from Israel in a long time.
Jeff, we interviewed. This was really cool because he was Israeli Air Force,
Yeah.
and we did the podcast. It was like 2:00 in the morning for him, and it's like right now for us. And he went on and on. It was a great interview, but I'm like, how can you function? It's like 2 a.m. Like I would be dead. I mean, I'm not 18 anymore. Like 2:00 was great when I was 18.
Yeah.
Now I'm in bed by if I'm not in bed by 9:30, I am having a rough day the next day.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Hey, one person from the Russian Federation is listening.
Oh, shit.
I wonder if he's got a VPN, man, because I'm pretty sure his country does not want him listening to Americans.
Privyet.
Yeah, exactly.
Tovarish. Tovarish, which means comrade in Russian, by the way.
All right, well, Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Dude, this has been a great podcast for the first time we've been back in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, probably 3 weeks. Surgery was 2 weeks ago, so.
Okay. Well, yeah, Jeff, you were great, man. You did awesome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, if we can do something with archery in the future, give me a shout.
I will send you my info. If you ever are in Tennessee, you look Fleek and I up. I mean, you have Fleek's email. I'll give you my phone number. You come down to Tennessee and we'll go shoot, man.
We'll do.
Or you could come here and we'll take you on the 50 cal. That's right up the street.
I am a gold member of Outpost Armory, and we can shoot a saw, we can shoot a 50, we can rent whatever you want. They have these new staccato guns
staccato pistols
that are like the Rolls Royce of guns. By the way, amazing.
I've heard about them.
I'm going to see once I get healthy, but right now I am not allowed to shoot a weapon because my insides will rattle out. But it's coming very soon. I will be a member also.
Dude,
nice.
we will go shoot that 50 cal together, man. I will hold you while you shoot it, man, because it's quite the blowback from that 50, man.
And nice. Before I pull the trigger,
your shoulder is gonna hurt.
Yes, I got a ways to go before that.
But Jeff, thank you, man. Have
thank you guys.
Night in Oklahoma, and thank you again.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Hold on for a second, and let this. Once we stop recording, it's gonna download a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta make sure everything gets uploaded. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you next Sunday.
See you guys.
Peace and love.
See you, Jeff.